Hey everyone, welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Simder Arc-200s. And this is a 120 amp welder and it is tiny. So I got some things to compare its size to. Regular can of soda and a Stanley Fat Max tape measure. So you can really see how tiny this machine is. This is super portable. You can throw it on a shelf somewhere, keep it up out of the way until you really need it. Great to travel if you need to do something at somebody else's house or outdoors. And it's overall about, I don't know, I think it's about 5 pounds or so. It doesn't weigh hardly anything. Follow along as we go over the features of this welder and then we're going to test it out. And always remember, it's not the size of your equipment, but it's how you use it. And having a small welder always makes your rod look bigger. This was sent to me by Simder and they did give me a coupon code for an additional 10% off the price on Amazon. We'll go over that here in a little bit and I will share that code with you both in the video and in the description below. With that being said, let's get into the welder. Alright, so first things first, like I said, this is a 120 amp machine and it's got some really great features. This display is really nice. It's super clear and easy to read and navigate. So I'm going to flip it on. It is going to get a little noisy because on the back there is the power switch and also a large fan that really pumps out some air to keep this thing cool. So here it is turned on, and one of the first things you're going to notice is that this display is showing 200 right now, and as I said, this is a 120 amp machine, and I did verify that. Everything on Amazon says that it is a 120 amp machine. However, it's labeled Arc-200s and it comes up with 200 on this display. So Simder told me that it is a software setting and it is in fact a 120 amp machine, just like the Amazon ad says that it is. And we'll get into that here in a second. But it does have your stick mode here at the top. This knob is also a button, so this knob is going to change your amperage, but it is also a button to cycle through different modes. So you've got hot start, which is a percentage, 0 through 100. It bumps your amperage up by a percentage that you set to start your arc. And when you start the arc, it bumps that amperage up to get you going through rust and mill scale and things like that, and then it brings that amperage back down to your desired setting. The next setting you've got is arc force, and what that's going to do is kind of smooth out that arc gap. If you start getting too close to your material, it's going to kind of take over and help you keep that arc going. And then of course at the end here you've got your Lift TIG mode, which allows you to use a Lift TIG setup should you choose to do so. Now, as I said, with this having a display that goes up to 200, you may be confused as to how you know what amperage this machine is set at. And I was at first, and I inquired about that, and if you hold this button down for 3 seconds, it's going to give you a VRD setting, which basically that keeps you from getting electrocuted or shocked or anything like that when nothing's hooked up and you're not welding. And if you hold this button down for 10 seconds, it's going to take you into this menu here where it's only got your number displayed. And all you do is simply turn the knob down and you can set this right to 120. Click it once and you're back in business. Now your dial maxes out at 120 and goes down to 0. At the bottom here you've got different electrode sizes. It is in the metric system, so you have to do some conversion there, but basically when you set your amperage, it's going to go through and kind of circle what rod diameter you should be using at that amperage as sort of a guideline, and it's also going to give you that up here in the corner more precisely. So with the display out of the way, let's go over some of the other nice things about this machine. First things first is this is an all metal housing. Sides, top, this is all one piece from side to side and over the top. The front is metal as well. Your positive and negative symbols are stamped right into this front sheet metal here, and that means they will never fade, they won't rub off, nothing like that. They can be a little tricky to see, but pretty soon you'll learn that negatives on top, positives on the bottom. The back is metal as well. This is a 110 or 220 machine, and like I said before, it is super lightweight and super small. This would be perfect for somebody on the go that needs to take this with them. It does come with a carrying strap that can go on these here. However, I have chose not to put that on because it does have this handy little handle on top. And overall, really impressed with this machine. I do wish that maybe it was a bit higher amperage, but for the price and the size of this thing, you really cannot complain. It's going to do most things around the house and in the garage without any sort of issue. Price wise, this is normally $128. Currently, as of filming today, I just checked before we started the video, it is at $99 and I believe 98 cents, so $100. The coupon Simder gave me will take another 10% off that sale price. So you can get this for about $89 right now. And I think it is definitely worth that. I will be honest, I have used this a little bit. I've had it for a couple weeks now, and I'm finally doing the video, but I have used it and it works great. There's not a whole lot to complain about with this machine, especially at its price point and its size. We're going to start with some 60-13 3/32. We may try some 70-18 rods. I got to see how they do because that will be putting this machine at its limit, more or less. I don't have any other 70-18 diameters at the moment. The 60-13 and 3/32 is going to be the more appropriate size for this machine. Alright, so I got some scrap plate here. It's about 1/4 inch thick. I'm going to just run a few beads on here and we'll see how it does. Alright, I'll let these cool off. I'm going to clean them up and then we'll take a look at them up close. Alright, so these are still hot, but I brought the camera over here. And as you can see, it lays a good bead, other than a few flaws in my technique. But overall, it does weld very nice. And it's got plenty of power for the size of the machine as well as the price. Yeah, overall, I am pretty happy with this machine. And it would make a nice portable rig if that's what you're looking for your basic tasks around the house and things like that. Alright, I'll go throw this back on the tripod and we'll wrap this up. So I think for the size and the price of this machine, it does a very good job, keeping in mind its limitations of being a 120 amp welder. What do you guys think? I mean, this thing, if it's small enough that you can keep it in a cabinet or up on a top shelf somewhere for when, in case you need it. If you wear those big Jinko jeans still, you could probably throw these in one of the back pockets and head off to work if that's your thing. But overall, I am impressed with this. The only thing that I wasn't a huge fan of, once again, was the instructions that came with it. The thing about this knob holding it down and being able to change that display wasn't in the manual. That came in an email from Simder. So once again, the instructions are a little lacking for things like that, but hopefully with videos like this, that gets the information out there. Overall, for a $100 machine on sale right now from $128 plus the coupon code that they gave me for you guys to use for $90, I think this is a very nicely built and capable machine. So the coupon code is going to be 10 Garage H, so 10 Garage H. I'll put that in the description as well. That's working with the sale price right now, so that brings this down to about $89 from $99. The regular price is $128. Link will be in the description. If you're looking for more info, check out this video on stick welding versus flux core. You can also check out this video on the Chicago Electric plasma cutter.